What if I told you that the life that you've always dreamt of, the one where you feel fulfilled, so happy, proud of yourself, isn't as far as you may think? So many times our dreams just feel so out of reach. I get you. I felt the same, I feel the same a lot of times. However, this video is for you to change your perspective about this, because the gap between your present self and your dream reality isn't so much about time or circumstances, rather about the choices you make every single day. And that's amazing, isn't it? You know why? Because you can start becoming that person that you want to become today. The day on the spot, you can decide to start. I'm gonna divide this video into 7 steps, and those steps helped me to get from my lowest point in life to this point in life when I'm working on creating my dream reality. Number 1, get super clear about what you want in life. What does your dream life look like? And I know, a lot of times we don't know what we want to do in our life, and we don't know what our purpose is, what our dream would look like. We don't really have that clear vision, but that's completely okay. I'm gonna explain in a second. So to bridge the gap between where you are right now and where you want to be, you have to define where you want to be. What is that final state? And what I personally like to do is to divide my life into 11 categories. For people who have kids, they have 12 categories. So the first one is health and fitness. How do I want to feel in my body? What do I want my diet to look like? How often do I go to the gym? Are there some goals that I want to achieve when it comes to sport, let's say? Number 2, intellectual life. What do I want to learn? This could be, for example, languages, the Spanish that you want to learn for a decade and you just didn't get to it yet. That could be exactly an intellectual life. How many books you want to read, what skill you want to learn. Emotional life, maybe you want to be able to regulate your emotions more efficiently. Maybe you want to calm your mind. Number 4, character. What values do you want to focus on? What characteristics do you want to focus on? So in this case, it could be that you have fear when it comes to achieving your goals. And the thing then, what you want to follow is courage. Number 5, spirituality. How do you want to deepen your faith? If you are religious, how often do you want to go to church? How do you connect with God, universe? It's going to be very different for everyone, but it may be about some kind of rituals that you want to do in order to keep up with your spirituality or religion. Number 6, love and relationships. So what kind of relationship do you want to have? How do you want to improve your romantic relationship? Number 7 is parenting. How do you want to improve as a parent? How can you spend time with your kids in a better way? Number 8, social life. How can you make sure that you keep in touch with your friends more often? How often do you want to go out with your friends or colleagues? Number 9, financial goals. How much do you want to save? How much do you want to invest? What is your financial goal? Number 10, career. How can you make sure that you're going to be able to apply for that dream job of yours, and what can you do for it? Number 11, quality of life, aka lifestyle. So how do you want to live your life? In my case, it would be how can I live more slower and calmer life? And number 12, your life purpose, aka ikigai, what you want to do, what you feel like you were born for onto this planet. That's number 12, the final number. I actually got inspired with all those categories from this very lovely couple, so you can check out the link that I'm gonna put below in the comment section. So when you have all those 12, 11 categories, it doesn't mean that you have to focus on everything at once, because you would literally get overwhelmed. Your dream life doesn't come in a month, in 3 months. You have to work on it very consistently with very small steps, and if you would work on everything all at once, then you're not gonna achieve anything, because your energy is gonna be just all over the place and it's not gonna help anything. So what I like to do is to choose the area where I feel that improvement in that area would help me the most when it comes to achieving my dream life. Now we almost have the end of the year, so for the next year, or whenever you're watching this video for the next year, I would recommend always choosing 4 to 5 kind of big goals that you can work on. Again, it's about focusing your energy into specific small group of goals, because if you're gonna set like 20 goals, you're not gonna achieve anything. But if you're gonna focus on 4 or 5 very big goals, then you're gonna get those small goals anyway to achieve the big one. And another point is that the clearer you're gonna be on defining what you want to achieve, the easier it's gonna be for you to set the steps on how to get from the present situation to the dream destination. And another reminder is, remember that you're gonna pivot. There is a possibility that you're gonna set a goal that is gonna feel so appealing and you're gonna be trying to reach it, and then on the journey you're gonna find out that you don't really like it and you don't really resonate with this goal, but you got inspired or you got fascinated by something new, and that's gonna be your new goal. That's completely okay. Also, you don't have to have your whole life figured out. So if you don't have very specific vision of what you want to achieve, what you want to do, what is your dream career, just explore and focus on keeping up with healthy habits. So focus on building some kind of skill that would help you in life, focus on going to the gym, focus on eating healthy, focus on things that would help you to become a better human being without that specific one goal in mind. And also, a lot of times we associate this one big goal with what kind of work we want to do, but that doesn't necessarily be the case for you. Maybe your life goal, the biggest life goal can be that you want to be a good human being. So in that case, you can set a goal when it comes to doing charitable work, or how can you practice kindness in day-to-day life. It doesn't have to be about what kind of career you want to achieve. Step number 2 is understand the gap. Now, when you understood what you want to achieve in your life, take a compassionate but honest look at where you are in your life. This is not about being ashamed or judging yourself. It's simply because you want to find out realistically where you stand. So you can ask yourself, what habits and what daily actions keep me back from achieving the dream reality? What actions am I taking that are aligned with the dream reality? So for example, if your dream version is energetic and vital, but now you eating junk food and you don't go to the gym, that's definitely a point where there is a gap between the present self and the dream self. The other thing I really prefer to do when it comes to this one is to define on a scale where I stand. For this example, I'm gonna take something that is a little bit of abstract thing, because I know a lot of people will be setting goals in those areas. My goal for 2025 is to be more calm in my mind, to be able to catch the negative thoughts very early on so they wouldn't evolve into those stories that I tell in my mind. And to be honest, I already worked on this goal for a few years now, and I started on number 1, and now I would say I'm around 7. So in this case, your dream reality is on 10. And for me, it's to be able to catch the thought immediately when it enters the mind and just let it flow and be very calm with it, not react to the negative thought, just like let it flow. I'm on number 7, so I'm able to catch the thoughts. However, sometimes they still slip, and sometimes I am a little bit more anxious. So that's number 7 for me. And now, in order to get to number 10, what is 8? What is 9? And what are the steps in between those that I can do? This is again very abstract, so maybe you're gonna have to experiment a little bit and try what works for you. However, if it would be something more concrete, like you want to feel more fit, so 10 would be that you are feeling very good in your body, you can do this and this amount of pull-ups, you can lift this in this weight, however it is for you. And now you're on 5. There is definitely a big space for improvement, but you're not at your worst, you can still you kind of athletic. So what is the step between 5 and 6, between 6 and 7? And the best thing is to define just the 5 to 6 for now. You can just focus on that. You're on 5, so the next stair is on 6. You don't have to take a look at how big the mountain is to get to 10, because that could overwhelm you. But if you're gonna dissect the goal into the small steps, then it's gonna be much easier for you to achieve it, because it's not gonna be as overwhelming, and you also have a direct plan of how to conquer what you want to do. Because a lot of times we set this goal and we are on number 3 and our goal is number 10, and we are just watching this huge goal, and that's exactly where it feels so unreachable. because you are watching at your number 10 future self, and it just feels unrealistic because you are on number 3. So do the step by step so you don't overwhelm yourself. And another thing is to make it as measurable as possible. So with the abstract goals, it's going to be kind of difficult because it's a thing in your mind. It doesn't have really numbers. It's more like a subjective feeling. But when it comes to the abstract goals, what I would recommend is to track how you feel, let's say. So if I want to be calmer in my mind, then I can make the goal into different categories. How anxious do I feel today? How calm do I feel today? How would I define that I was able to catch the negative thoughts today? How much the negative thoughts affected me today? And maybe you can make it into like a sheet with squares and color them based on a different color, how you feel about it today. And then you overall would see how you progressed because you're keeping track of your inner world. So that's for the abstract goals. For the more concrete goals, like how fit you want to be, then it's kind of easier, right? Because you can measure things. Because if you define something in very abstract way, then you can kind of like play and lie to your mind that you already have it, even though you don't, just so you feel better that you actually achieved something, even though nothing really changed. So if I would go and say that I want to be more calm in my mind, and then that would be the abstract way how I define the goal, then I can literally at any point of the year say, yeah, I kind of feel calmer, and that's it, and that would feel like achieving the goal. However, how real is that achievement? So I would recommend the squares and coloring it in so you can keep track of it. Step 3 is start acting as your future self. That speaks for itself. It is not really fake it until you make it, but embody it until you become it, think it until you become it. What does embody mean? That's such a word that was very hard to grasp. I heard it so many times. You have to embody something. How do I do it? What is that? That's very abstract as well, right? So you can think about it as when actors get their role. They have to become that character, and they have to speak like them, walk like them, talk like them, think like them. And the better the actor, the better they are in embodying that character. So what are the daily actions that your dream self would do? How would they think? So basically what you want to do is to color this picture of your dream self in connection to the goal you have. And then every single time when you're deciding on something, and when you're creating the day, and when you're planning for things, then you take this version of yourself into account, and you want to act as closely and think as closely as your dream version. So if you want to be more fit and you go to the grocery store, instead of buying whatever you want, you ask yourself, would this benefit my dream self? Would putting this grapes benefit my dream self? Would putting this chocolate benefit my dream self? And you're basically deciding based on that. At first, it's gonna be difficult because you are literally creating new ways in your brain, and you're creating a whole different person. It's like learning a skill, and the more you practice it, the easier it will get. And that's exactly where you're bridging the gap. If you're gonna start with a habit, then it's gonna be at first difficult. The more you practice it and the longer you do the habit, the easier it will get, which means that you're literally bridging the gap between your present self and your future self. So you can imagine it also as a bridge. First, it goes up, then it goes down. Like, first it's very difficult and you're climbing the bridge, and then it goes down and you kind of like slide into it, clicks, and all the habits are placed, the action is in place, your mindset is in place. Those choices don't have to be massive. They have to be intentional. You have to think about the things that you're doing, because so many times we have this flight mode and we just do things automatically and we kind of slip into the bad habits. So your goal here would be to keep track of your habits, what you're doing. And remember, from the previous steps, you have those small steps of how to reach the different numbers, the 7, the 8, the 9, the 10. And those steps in between, what habits can you do to achieve those steps. So, if I want to be a full time content creator, that's a 10. What habits do I do every single day to get to the 10? So I would film every single day. I would try scripting. I would practice my skill of social media, speaking in front of camera. There's so many different things that I could do, and I could build habits around this. And eventually, with enough time and consistency, then you're gonna repeat the habit so many times that there's a very high possibility that you're gonna reach what you want to reach. Number 4, embrace the journey and do not focus just on the end goal. This is a mistake a lot of people do, and I was guilty of it myself so many times, because you know how beautiful it would be on the 10. You know it. And that's why you strive for it. That's why it's your goal. A lot of times, as human beings, we just want that thing immediately. We are impatient with it. And we are literally focused just on the number 10. And then we completely miss all the numbers before. And we just, there's this one goal that we want to reach, and everything else, whatever. But then you don't really enjoy the process. And with this, you are also massively blocking all the manifestations, because you're so obsessed with that one goal that you are forcing it. And a lot of times you don't let the creative energy, the flow, to come in because you want it so desperately. So you putting out this energy of want, of lack, of this desperate energy, rather than enjoying the flow, enjoying the ride, being joyful about it, being curious, exploring. Law of detachment is very important, because if you're pressuring something all the time, it's out of lack, out of fear. It's literally like if you would order an ice cream in ice cream store, and you would keep screaming at the ice cream maker, like, be quicker, give me the ice cream, where's my ice cream? Like, you would not get the ice cream as quickly as you would just let it flow and let her do her work. Like, keep it down. Focus on the journey. There's so many beautiful things that you can enjoy. The process of it. Isn't it just beautiful? Like creating the sculpture, creating the painting. It's not just about the final project. It's not about your number 10. Maybe you are so impatient with it because you base your value of achieving this thing. So, what can you do about this? How can you feel valuable even though you don't have this thing yet? Even though you don't have the dream career yet? Even though you're not financially stable yet? How can you value yourself? How can you feel worthy? Another thing is that also we want to impress other people a lot of times. And then we set this goal and we want to really, really achieve it. And then on the way, you have this big opportunity to pivot and to do something that would truly fulfill you, what is truly aligned with you, and what you would truly enjoy. But because you're so focused on that one goal, on that one thing that you really want to, you have to have it, you completely black out the thing that came your way and that could be so beautiful for you, but because you want to impress other people, you don't pay attention to it because you're so focused on number 10, because the number 10 would be the thing where you would be in eyes of other people like, wow, they made it, they're so good, they're so great, so smart, so rich, whatever it is. Focus on the journey. Number 5, let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism destroys creativity. And when you don't get creative, you don't explore. And when you don't explore, you don't pivot into what you actually want. This all goes hand in hand, all those steps. But we want things to be perfect. And a lot of times when we want things to be perfect, we also are not as consistent. Because if you literally don't put 100% in, then it's not worth it. Why would it be worth it if it's not 100%? And this could also come from where you grew up and your experiences in life. So that's for you to tackle as well. However, so many times you could post if you do something like me here, So many times I posted something where I knew it's not 100%. I'm not a professional content creator. I've been doing this not that long, and there are people who do it for 10, 15 years, and they're great and they have the best camera and lighting. And in comparison to them, if I would be comparing how I'm doing to them, it's not 100%. But if I would be doing that, and if I would say if it's not 100%, I'm not putting it out, then I don't have nothing on my YouTube channel. You are so strict on yourself and you expect that you're gonna be doing 100% all the time. I used to be such a big perfectionist, and I was not doing anything until it was 100%. Then I would put it out, and then I would show it to other people. But with this, my tempo was super slow, and then I saw other people who were just like chilling, and they were putting out things that I would consider myself to be 30%, and a lot of times it was not that big of a value. And yeah, it's comparison, but in this case it helped me because I saw that I am so overthinking my creative projects, what I'm doing. I was not putting such a brilliant work out. I was not doing YouTube for so long because I was so scared that I'm not gonna be 100% and I'm not gonna be the best. So why is it even worth it? It is worth it. It is worth it, and you're gonna get so much better throughout the process. Here is a part of a clip of a video that I uploaded. It's still here on the channel, and this is how it looked like. And this is how it looks like now. And it's completely different because I got better, because I practiced the skill. I just jump into it. Jump into it, and you're gonna learn in the process. It doesn't have to be perfect. Also, what I want to say to people who want to share their content, art, whatever, but you're not native English speakers, don't worry. Whatever, I also make mistakes. I know that this video is so full of mistakes, and my English, I would say, is pretty good, but I still make so many mistakes, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm trying to bring value here. And if you have value to give, if you have entertainment to give, if you have something you want to give to the world, don't be scared that, like, just because of your language, it's not gonna work out. Just go for it. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna be so sad and disappointed that you didn't do it. I wanted to start YouTube video when I was like 15, but I was constantly scared that it's not gonna be perfect, it's not gonna be that and that, and like those people are so good, I'm never gonna be like them. And then I didn't upload. If I would have uploaded and be uploading, I would have had my channel for like 10 years now, and it could have been completely elsewhere, but that doesn't matter. I was not simply ready. But this is just for you to think about it, because if you're blocking yourself because of your perfectionism, it's a real pity. Number 6, focus on the consistency. I already said that. It doesn't matter that much how perfect something is, you have to be consistent. The goals that you have won't be reached in 1 day, in 2 days. You have to put in consistent effort, and you have to put in the effort even when you don't feel like it. Let me tell you the amount of times when I decided to be consistent with the gym, and I was after work, after 8-hour shift, and I so didn't want to go. The first 15 minutes, I thought I'm just gonna give up at the gym. It was so horrible. I felt horrible. It was not worth it at all. After the first 15 minutes, there was like a break. And I was like, yes, I'm so proud. I'm so glad I went. You have to be consistent even when you don't feel like it. It's better to give 30, 70, 80% than 100, and then you don't go for a month and 100. Consistency is key in habits, in reaching goals, in becoming the dream version of yourself. The final number 7, trust yourself. You're so worth your goals, your dreams. I believe that every single person gets their dreams into their mind because it's already in the future. It already exists, and it's attracting your goals and your dreams. I believe this. Your dreams attract you, and they're attracted to you as much as you're attracted to them. It's a mutual chemistry, and it's just up to you to trust yourself and go for it. Go for the thing that you've been putting off for so long. Start a podcast, learn Spanish, learn piano, whatever it is for you, whatever goal you have, go for it and trust yourself, because the trust in yourself is so important in building your dream life. And you would be so disappointed if you wouldn't go for the things that you want to go for, because you want to go for them for a reason. And if you're not sure what your purpose is and what the big goals are, it's okay. It's okay. Just experiment and focus on the good habits and trust that there is something for you and that you're worth it. You're worth the luck, the happiness, the joy, the curiosity, the freedom, everything. You're worth it. Just focus on the destination, enjoy the ride, and be consistent and trust in yourself. I hope and I wish you so much luck with your goal, with your final destination, with your purpose. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next one. Bye!